Hey everyone, thanks for joining us this morning as we talk about PDF landing pages and really dive into how to capture leads on your website and also some details with action plans and how you can send out some auto emails. Today is a super intense informational session. Our goal is that you leave with some tools and knowing what and how you can set up your system to further benefit your business. And I would encourage you, as you have questions, to really reach out and ask them. We're going to do everything we can to cover this as quickly and as efficiently as possible so that you can move forward into your week and really start getting things set up. So as you can see, I'm on my website. We're going to be talking about creating custom pages on your website today, but specifically, how do you digitize a PDF to use to promote your business, whether that is a top 5 things to do to enhance your home value, or if it is something like questions to ask when interviewing a home inspection or a home inspector, or maybe it's something along the lines of what you need to do to qualify a good lender who's going to take care of you in the process. I'm sure that all of you have a lot of really good ideas on what you can do. But after you have created that PDF, so today is not about how to create a PDF. We are assuming that you have already created that PDF. How do you go about digitizing it so that you can promote it on your website? And the answer to that is you're going to do that in your office. So when you log into your office and you go into your files section and you go to your home folder, this is really your online digital storage so that you can manage your files. And as you can see in here, I've got several files available to me, but I also can click on this upload button in the upper right-hand corner. And from there, I can add a file. Now, I'm going to assume that you have this file on your computer. I'm going to go into my computer. Perhaps I'm going to go into my downloads or onto my desktop. I know that I've got a demo file there, and I'm going to choose that file. Now, this is a Lead in Your Home brochure, but you could upload any PDF file that you had. So I can then go in. I can see that brochure that I added. I can also see right here this #1 PDF landing page. Something to keep in mind is whatever you've named your file in your files home folder is what the consumer is going to download as well. So make sure that you're naming it something that your clients can see or that you're okay with your clients seeing. Now, on the right-hand side, when I go into actions, I can see here if I need to rename this file. Maybe this file is really my 5 home inspector questions. I can do that. It automatically happens. I also can click on actions, and I want to pull out this Be Social button because this is really where this journey of how do I digitize this PDF begins. So if I click on Be Social, I can go in, I can see the URL, I can see the HTML code, and I can copy that. Now, if you're using a PC, to copy that is Control-C. If you're using a Mac, I believe it's Command-C, and that will copy that to your clipboard. Once you've copied it, you've got it so that you can really paste it wherever you would like. If you're using a website, I like to use the HTML code, but if you're going to share it on your Facebook or something like that, you could use this URL and it would take you directly to that link. Now, if you want to make it something that people have to register first to see, so they have to register in order to see that, how you would go about doing that is you're going to scroll to the very bottom of your screen here, and you're going to go to your site's login. So once you do that, you're going to click and put in your username and password, again, knowing that you're in your edit mode because of that black bar at the top of the screen. So we've copied and pasted our file, and now we're going to go about creating that page. So to create a new page on your website, you click the Pages button. And when you do that, to add a new page, you're going to click this plus new page in the upper right-hand corner. So there are several templates from you to choose from. If maybe this is a download page that you want to do on top 5 questions to ask a home inspector, but you want to feature some home inspectors on that page, you could do something like template 6. You're going to click next, and then you're going to name your page. 5 questions for home inspectors. What to ask. And then to make this a landing page, so what qualifies it as a landing page is to change this registration. So it's not just any page, but you want to change this registration from no to yes. So that is really, really what changes that. And then there's several types of registration that you can require. So do they have to require yes or no? Or is it required yes or no? And the type. So a nag is like your mom in high school. Every third time she walks by your bedroom, she asks you to pick up your wet towel, and that's what really qualifies that nag. It's not every time, it's every third time. It's a constant reminder that you need to do something. The next type is an offer. This means, hey, they're going to be offered to fill out this form, but after they're offered the first time, they're never offered again. And the last type of registration that you have available to you is called force. And that means that every time someone comes to this page, they are going to be asked to fill out that form. The first time, the second time, the third time. And this visit means, hey, after how many times that they come to your page, do you want them to have to do that? You choose what that is. Is it 1? Is it 5? Is it 7? You choose how many times they come before they're required to register. Now, underneath the lead source, you are going to choose the lead source. This is a drop down. And really, it's best to check with your office on what lead source is the best for this. Is it an open house sign-in? Is it a custom lead source? But every office has a different lead source. So go ahead, check with your office administrator about what the best lead source is. I'm just going to use this open house sign-in for today's session, but really it could be any of these. But again, please check with your office administrator so that you know and are confident that those leads are routing to you on this site, and they are going to be the ones that can tell you that the most clearly. So after you've changed all of that, you can go in and you can click OK. So I do see that there is a question here about is there a limit on the file size that we upload? The answer to that is not to my knowledge. I have not run into any file size limits at this point. So I don't think that that is going to be an issue. Okay. So we just created that page. I can see here it says what to ask. And if I look at the title in here in my URL, it says my web address /5 questions for home inspectors. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to edit this page. Again, I can edit the photo using my images, company images if my company has updated images, or go into the Back at You images that we have available for you. And I might say, hey, I want real estate photos or lifestyle photos or landscape photos, whatever it is. I can go in and I'm going to choose a photo, and it's going to add that header. Then I can go in and I'm going to edit this text. So I might in this body go ahead and type something like, hey, having a home inspection is important. Here are questions to ask. And this is where I'm going to take this file, and I can either copy and paste that link, or I could take that HTML code and I could go in to the HTML code here, and I could actually just paste this, and it's going to create a nice little link. Download 5 home inspector questions. I click OK. It automatically enters that in. And then I'm given the option where, hey, if I wanted to put a home inspector here, maybe this is Inspections Plus, this is Best Home Inspections, and this is getting or insuring your home inspections, or whatever it is. I could actually put pictures of those vendors and a little bit of about them if I wanted to, because of the template that I laid out. What I want to point out is when I click on that hyperlink, it is automatically downloading that PDF that I uploaded for your clients. And before anyone can get to this page, they are having to register. So before they get to the option to click to download, it is forcing them to register for this page. So a couple other questions that came up. One is, do they have to register before they see this? Yes. The next one is, when they are clicking on this, are they forced to register if they're clicking on a link, or what if they're clicking on a menu item? So yes, they are, no matter how they get to this page, whether you're sharing the link to that page or if you're connecting it to a menu item, they're going to be forced to register. So if you want to add this page to a menu item, let's just quick go through that. I can go to my menus. I can edit my main site menu. I'm going to take that interview question off. I'm just going to add 5 questions for a home inspector. It is home inspection information. And I want it to be a top menu item. And then I click add to menu. I click save. I'm going to log out so that you can see what this looks like. And I'm going to go back to my home page. So when I go to my menu, I can see my home inspection information. When the client goes here, they are going to be asked to register to see that page. Here it is. I have to register. Now this, where it says open house sign in, where that is pulling from is actually pulling from when I go into my site's login, just to re-log in to show you where that is. And I go back to that page. So I'm going to go back to this page here to edit it. If you go up to page options and go to meta tags, that is pulling from this lead source. So if you want to change that, you're going to change your lead source. And that is going to be what changes on the form. So that's how you get to that section. So I want to make sure that's a lot of information in just a short amount of time, how to create a landing page, link a PDF to it, how you can link it to your menu. Again, just a quick recap. First step is within your Office, you're going to go to your Files section, My Home folder, and you're going to upload a file. Click here and I upload it. Once that file is uploaded, you're going to go to Actions, and then you can share and be social. You can either copy the URL or the HTML code. Once you've uploaded it here, you're going to go to your website. You're going to log into your website by going to the very bottom and clicking on that site's login button. And then once you're in that site's login, you're going to go up to your pages menu and create a new page. You create a new page, you choose your template, you title your page, and that is how you start. To create a registration page, when you are creating the page, you are marking the registration as yes, and you're choosing that registration type. Once you've done all that, then you're going to go about editing your page, adding your photos, adding your text, and within your text, you are either pasting that link, which is Control V, or if you want to add the HTML code, you're clicking on these 2 little carrots in the upper left-hand corner, pasting that HTML code and clicking OK. Anyone who comes to your site is going to have to register before they can see that page. Now, if you want, you can just share that hyperlink to the page, or if you want to add it to your menu here, you can go to Menus, edit your site menu, and then you can add it, going to your custom page, finding your page, naming it, and clicking Add to Menu. So that is a really quick synopsis of everything that we covered today. Now, I can see that there's some questions in the chat box. One of them says, I've been working on landing pages, and is there a way to send an auto email out? And the answer to that is yes. There is a way to send some auto emails out through the system using action plans. This is really the more advanced style of this. So if you just want to have a page where people register, they can download that PDF immediately. This first 15 minutes is really where you're at. Now, if you're ready to go to the next level that says, hey, I want them to land on a page, I want it to have some information, but I want the second part of this to be that they're going to get an email. So this page might say, hey, thank you for registering. I will be reaching out to you shortly with a PDF of your information. Then I can go ahead, I can go to my Office, and the first step of this is creating that email. So if I go into my marketing section, I'm going to go to My Saved Content, and the first thing I'm going to do is to create that portion, that content, that email that I want to go out. So I'm going to say, hey, add to content. I'm going to create a new piece of content. I'm going to choose blank content, and I'm just going to write a letter. This is going to be called home inspection letter. And I'm going to put this in my leads letters category. Then I'm going to edit the text. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to say, hey, contact first name. Thank you for reaching out about home inspectors. Here is the information you requested. And then I'm going to go and I can either, again, I can paste that, or I can go to the source code. I can go ahead and I can paste in that link, download 5 home inspector questions. Please let me know if you have any other questions, whatever it is. Choose my agent signature from that box. Agent signature, add, click OK, and I've created that content. So that's step 1 in the auto email, is first you have to create the email. So again, this is in response to the question, hey, I want to create landing pages, but I want some of this stuff to be emails that go out afterwards. How do I get all that set up? The first step is going into your marketing the first step is going into your files section, home folder, uploading your files here so that you can digitally get them out. Then it is going into your marketing section, my saved content, creating the content pieces of what you want to send out. And then the next section is going into your tools and preferences and my action plans and creating those plans. Now, this next part depends on if you want to have one plan for all leads that come in, or if you're building multiple pages. So if you're building 7 of these pages, you are going to want to have 7 different action plans, and you're going to want them to name them accordingly. So the first one I might build would say, hey, I'm going to create a new plan. Again, tools and preferences, my action plans. The first one I might have would be action plan name, home inspection page. Once I click save, I'm going to add an item to that action plan. I'm going to say, hey, it's an automatic email. The email name is inspector questions. The subject is interview, home inspector interview questions delivered. Then, we're going to check our spelling. I'm going to choose when it's due. So I'm going to keep this as immediately. As soon as this action plan attaches to this person, I want this to go out. I want it to go out from me, the owner of the lead. I'm going to find my content here. Remember, I created my content already. So I clicked on this little magnifying glass, and now I'm scrolling through. Again, I added that leads letter category so I can easily find it. If I want to be copied or blind copied on this, I can add my email in here, and I want it to go out to the contact or lead, and I click save. It's happening immediately. Inspector questions, and I click save. So you could create several of these plans, and if you want to add additional emails to this, you absolutely can, or items, again, just adding items into that action plan. Now, if you only are running one of these at a time, great. That is the only step you need to do to get yourself set up. If you're running multiple of these, you need to create a plan that is a new lead sorting plan. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. So I add a new lead sorting plan. I go in, I say, hey, this is a follow-up request, and this is add to correct action plan, so that you can monitor who's coming into the system and you know what's going on. I want that to be due immediately. I click save, and that's happening. So the reason that is important if you're doing multiples of these is because you can assign an action plan, a default action plan to every lead that comes into the system from your agent level. To do that, you go up into your name. I go into my profile, and underneath the Preferences tab, about halfway through, there's a Default Action Plan section where I can add my new lead action plan by clicking that magnifying glass. I can say, hey, I'm going to call this my new lead sorting plan. Immediately what happens is it requests that I add that person to an action plan. Hey, you've got a new lead. You've got to assign them an action plan. Now, what will happen is automatically when you do that, you're going to get an email, text, phone call reminder saying, hey, you have a new lead, depending on how you have your preferences set up. Then on your to-do gauge, it's going to say, hey, you've got an action that's due. Okay, I need to go in. I can view that from right here. I can go into the Actions tab. I can add an action plan that is my Home Inspector page. I click Save, and those emails are automatically going out. Now, please keep in mind that this is accessible on your phone. So when I'm looking at my home page on my phone, I can actually scroll down. I can see my to-do gauge here. I can see all the information about the client. I can click to go into my Actions tab, and I can see everything that's happening with them here. I also can add an additional plan. Here's all those plans. All right, all new leads. Scroll to the bottom, save, done. So everything I'm showing you today can be done not only on your desktop, but also on your phone. And you're automatically getting reminders. So let's recap that part. That's a lot of information. So we went into files, we went into our home folder, we uploaded the document here. Once the document was uploaded, we went in and we got the social and we copied that HTML code. If we did not want to put it on a site, we went into Marketing, My Saved Content, and we created a new piece of content. When we did that, we wrote a letter, or you used a templated out type of content, whatever it was, to create that content first, because without that content, you cannot share that link to download. So I chose this blank content. I typed out my letter. I named it. I gave it a category name. I typed out my letter here, and I included that link in. Once that was done, I went in, and depending on if I had one of these pages going or multiple, I created an action plan for all my new leads that only required me to follow up and sort them. And then I built another action plan that had an automatic system email that went out for me. Once all of that was done, I marked it as complete. So there's a few steps here. As we move forward, it's better to get yourself set up. And part of the beauty of the system is, hey, you want to put it on your website and just have people download it? Great, you can do that. You want to make sure you're verifying an email and actually having them come in, and you're sorting people and you're creating action plans to move forward? Great. You can work for that. And the beautiful thing about that is the way that Derek, that you do training and you work with your clients, and the way that I work with my clients, and the way that Jane works with her clients, and the way that Will works with his clients is totally different. And I can set the system up to really function for what I need this to do. So it looks like there's another question about can we select buyer or seller and then assign an action plan based on the selection? So you can. That's a little bit different within your customer relations tab and within each individual contact and or lead. There is a section at the bottom that asks if they're a buyer or a seller. I can say they're a seller or they're a buyer. Again, everything with actions is going to be done on that actions tab, but now I've categorized them. I can go in, I can add that action plan, and I can click save. Once that's done, I know that they're in and that is functioning. So the next question that came up is, how is the ad done for the Facebook share? So I want to be really clear here that we are just giving you the option to share it on social. We're not actually building the ad from within your Back at You office. So if I go into those files and I click on the file to share to Facebook, this is simply grabbing that link and sharing that link on my Facebook, either my personal, or I can go and share it on a page that I manage here. So that is only sharing the link. However, you can, on your Facebook page, if you would like, use that page. So this page that you created, this registration required landing page, you can go into your Facebook and go into your ads manager and create ads here. So you can go into your business manager, you can go into this account, and you can create an ad here. So you could go in, I could say, hey, I want to create an ad. And I want to go ahead and create an ad here. In that ad, as I create it, I'm going to acknowledge that I'm doing this for a special category because we're real estate agents. I want to drive traffic because all I'm trying to do is get people to the link for my page. And then as I'm building it, I'm going to copy and paste that link for my page into the ad. So instead of doing a lead generation ad, I'm doing a traffic ad that is driving leads to my site that has the registration on it. Does that make sense? So that's a ton of information for you all. I really want to thank you for coming and joining me this morning. I hope it is super helpful in getting you set up. I know it's a lot of information, and you will get this recording later this afternoon. I hope you all have a great day, and we will talk soon.